All right, we are here. I'm sorry, it took me a moment, y'all. I had some computer issues. I guess I'm the only guy that can accidentally drop a bottle of water and it splashes everywhere. And I mean everywhere. But we are here. It is Bellator 249 and we're in effect. I just got finished. Now, let me start by saying what you guys missed. The first fight ended in the first round because of a nut shot, and the guy could not get up, which happens. It happens, but it sucks for both fighters. Let's keep it real. Neither fighter wants to end a fight like that. So it ended in no contest. They brought up another fight with two heavy, or I want to say two light heavyweights. That ended pretty nicely. Somebody got knocked out with a nice knee to the face. Can't really hate on knees to the face. And then we had Ricky Bandejas versus, and his new name is the Alter Ego. I think this guy is definitely promising. He's looking to make a splash in Bellator in the bantamweight division. Problem is, I kind of want him to run it back. The guy was 10 pounds heavier than Ricky. Like, come on, man. You got to make weight. If you don't make weight, that's a problem. This is a profession. But I will say that it was a good fight for the time it lasted. Leandro Higo, he was phenomenal on the ground. He basically tapped Ricky out, but once again, you're 10 pounds heavier. It's not fair. It's not a fair fight. That's not a real bantamweight fight. Really, that was a bantamweight versus a featherweight. Let's keep it real. Outside of that, we got Patricky coming back tonight, y'all. Patricky Pitbull versus Jaleel Willis. Now, this is going to be a good fight because both well-rounded fighters, but Patricky, he got something to prove. He's 21-8. I think he won his last fight, if I remember correctly. But he's trying to get back in there. He wants to get back in that title picture with his brother. And I'm not going to lie, I'd love to see them two go at it. I want to see who the strongest brother is. I want to see who the real Pitbull brother is. No disrespect, fellas. I know you both are Pitbulls by right. But I challenge somebody to tell me they wouldn't like to see that fight. And the main event tonight being Chris Cyborg versus Arlene Blencowe. Now, I really want to see this because Arlene's a boxer. She's a pure boxer. I don't think Cyborg is going to bully this girl. I really don't. I don't see this being a bullying match like Cyborg's used to. That being the case, we're going to have a fight. It's going to be a good fight. So stay tuned for that. They're currently doing commercials with Joe Schilling, which I think is cool because Joe Schilling's one of my favorite fighters too. He don't get enough respect. Let's keep it real. The man's dangerous. In addition, let's talk about some of the other stuff while we're waiting for the main event. So the other things going on right now. Can anyone tell me what's going on with John Jones and Israel Adesanya? Because I want to see a fight, y'all. I'm tired of hearing the talk. And both of these guys, they obviously don't like each other. I mean, it's an obvious dislike. So I'm waiting to see who's going to go up or who's going to come down. I'm hard-pressed to believe Israel's going to go up to light heavyweight. I think, if anything, if he's smart, I think Izzy's going to make John come down. If he does go up, I think that'll still be an interesting fight. Izzy with about 10 more pounds, still pretty fucking dangerous. Or I'm sorry, I think 20 more pounds. If I'm correct, it's 205. 200 to 205 is light heavyweight, I want to say. Might be wrong. But that's a good fight. Matchup wise, you got two phenomenal top level fighters that are beefing right now over Twitter, Instagram. I know you guys see it. It's everywhere. They're going at it. Those two getting in that cage would be mind blowing to fans of either. So I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, they're replaying the prelim. We had some good prelims tonight too. By the way, just for the record, I do want to do an honorable mention. Christian Edwards choked out Hamza Salim, and there were three. If I'm correct, if I remember correctly, there were three rear naked chokes in the prelims out of 4 fights. So I'm sorry, out of 7 fights. Out of 7 fights in the prelims, there were three rear naked chokes. That's I wasn't expecting it, especially for two of them to come back to back, and I think the third one came after the sixth fight. But yeah, we talking top level jiu-jitsu tonight. Mike Kimball, another honorable mention. Mike Kimball versus Damon Blackshear. That was a good fight. Damon put it on him. Mike was looking good at first, but I gotta say, you could definitely see the difference in the ground game once they got on the ground. Which we all know we all the same size when we horizontal. I'm still also waiting to see what's going to come of this Conor McGregor, Justin Poirier. Who else is in the mix? Let's throw Nate in there because Nate is talking shit too. So I want to see what's going to happen out of all these fighters that's talking all this shit. Especially since you also have, waiting in the wings, Tony Ferguson. Tony has a right to be angry in this sense. And I think he has a right to be angry because he's being left out. Nobody's talking about this guy. And let's keep it real. Yeah, he lost to Gaethje, but he was a warrior that night. He wasn't going to give up. You were going to have to kill him. I do feel like Tony was outclassed that night, but let's keep it real. Tony doesn't have a record of being outclassed. So to forget about him, I think you're making a big mistake, fellas. I think that a lot of you still have a challenge there. One thing I would love to see, which I'm also hearing is in the talks, is Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson. That's a fight. People sleep on Michael Chandler. And I think they sleep on him basically, or let me say this. I don't think people sleep on Michael Chandler. I think your regular MMA, your typical MMA fan that just watches it for the fights, doesn't really know much about the fighters, they take Michael Chandler for granted because they don't really know as much. But Michael Chandler is a pretty fucking dangerous guy. I mean, you're talking about a guy with stand-up. You're talking about a guy with wrestling, jiu-jitsu. And he keeps coming. He has the gas tank. I would even go so far as to say he has a gas tank that's matchable to Tony's gas tank. People don't realize how dangerous that is in a fight. Especially we talking about, I don't care if you're talking about 3 5-minute rounds or 5 5-minute rounds. You're talking about two guys that can go either or. They can do either or. And it's not going to phase them in the least come rounds 4 and 5. They're going to fight just as hard in rounds 4 and 5 as they're going to give to you in the first couple of rounds. Those first 3. So that's a fight. That's a bad fight right there. That's a bloody fight. I don't see that fight going the distance, 3 or 5 rounds. But we'd have to see. Because let's keep it real. Tony is trying to make a highlight reel out of you. he wants to smash your face in and have you looking like his other car wrecks. Now, what I will say too is that it had me kind of going. Talking about car wrecks though, I'm gonna keep it real. And there's no disrespect to Tony. But I think the Gaethje fight was the first time he's been in that type of car wreck. I've never seen Tony look like that after a fight. So I had to give Gaethje mad props. And speaking of Gaethje, who's going for Gaethje in this Khabib fight? Because I'm going for Gaethje. Don't get me wrong. I do understand the power of a Khabib. I do respect the skill that Khabib holds. And do I believe Khabib could win this fight? Hell yes. Khabib can definitely beat Justin Gaethje. That's not, I don't have a doubt in my mind that it's possible. But on the flip side of things, I also think what makes this fight so interesting is that Gaethje has an equal chance, guys. And I don't think a lot of you are really respecting Gaethje's skills in terms of not just his stand-up, but his wrestling. Gaethje is a world-class wrestler. He's up in that upper echelon of wrestlers in the UFC.
This guy is he's quite awesome.
And I want to take you back. I want to take you back to Khabib versus. Man, I'm gonna remember his name. Al. Shit. Al Pacenta. Damn, I know I'm fucking his name up. But when he fought Al, he couldn't hold Al down.
He fell asleep.
If Al can defend against those takedowns, I feel like if Al can work that wrestling angle with Khabib, I don't see Gaethje having that big of an issue
This is after my last fight, and
when it comes to the wrestling. And let's keep it real. That's what the real question is. This come that fight. A lot of people are wondering, is Gaethje gonna be able to get up? Let's keep it real. That's the question. I don't know about y'all, but that's the question I'm asking. Is Gaethje gonna be able to get up? Whether it be through wall walk, or whether it be through sheer strength, or whether it be through skill. Will he be able, will Khabib actually hold Gaethje down and grind Gaethje out the way he's done so many others? I'm gonna make a minor prediction in that sense. I think the fight we see come the end of October is not going to be the fight a lot of people are expecting in terms of that ground game. I'm almost willing to believe these guys are going to stand and bang. And if they stand and bang, I'm going to give it to Gaethje. I think Gaethje has a harder punch than Khabib. Now, with that being said, if it does go to the ground and Khabib can keep him down, we already know what's going to happen. We already know what's going to happen. Khabib is going to grind. And if he grinds, you will be hearing and still. So, mad luck to both gentlemen. I hope you both go in there and throw us a hell of a fight. But I'm definitely checking that one. I'm not missing that one for the world. I'm not missing it. Oh shit, I think it's about to go down. Cyborg and Blencowe. Yeah, she grinded the fuck out of Julia Budd that last fight. And when she won, when she brought that title home, when Cyborg brought it home, she brought it home definitively. There was no question that Julia Budd got outclassed that fight. Now, with that in mind, I will say I don't think Julia Budd is done. I don't. Julia Budd is one of those fighters that evolve. They evolve with every loss. And believe it or not, that takes a lot. That takes a lot to do for fighters. I believe it takes a lot because it's a certain type of mental toughness you have to have in addition to having the training. And then changing the training to accommodate your weaknesses. Because that's what I've noticed about Julia Budd. She likes to go in there. If she has gotten starched, she has gotten beat before, but if she does get beat, she's gonna go in and she's gonna work on the thing that you beat her on. I see. I just put Cyborg. My bad.
She talked about her last fight against Leslie Smith. She said, I learned a lot in that fight. She said, usually when I hit someone, it stops them in their tracks. I can see fear in her eyes. She called Leslie Smith like the Terminator. She said she kept coming. It allowed her to switch up that game plan, to do that stick and move, those bunches, and allow her to experience that, knowing that
So I'm just realizing that I don't know how to spell. So I'm fixing the title to this. I agree. I agree.
momentum is the key. That is our main event. It is coming up next. Our featherweight world.
I like seeing Chael do commentary Bellator. I think that's a good move. That and I've always liked Chael. I've always been a big Chael Sonnen fan. Like he always gets my respect.
To her credentials in combat sports, it's striker versus striker next.
Bellator MMA on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by Mohegan Sun Arena. We don't sell tickets, we make memories.
Damn. So another thing I want to talk about, PFL. I'm kind of excited for next season. I want to see PFL flourish. I liked PFL. And that's the one promotion I'm like, why haven't they gotten back started? PFL, we miss you. We definitely miss you. One right now is another promotion that I'm kind of man. I sitting here answering messages about Bellator tonight. But back to one. I'm really curious to see what happens with one championship. And I say that because technically one is the UFC of Asia. Let's keep it real. They're big. It's huge over there. But I'm noticing they're only throwing maybe at least, and I'm only going off of what I've seen in the past couple of events. They threw. They're throwing like one or two events a month, which is okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, but the fights that they're showing, I'm kind of looking forward to certain fights that I'm not hearing about. Like, who else wants to see Demetrius or wants to see Demetrius Johnson get his chance, get his shot at the title? That's all I'm waiting. I'm so waiting for that. Because Demetrius he's been mowing his competitors down. I think he's already won two of the only fights he's had. I take that back. I think he's only had 2 fights in one. I don't know if that's in the immediate workings, but I'm looking at all these. I'm kind of wondering what their schedule, what it really breaks down to, because I would love to know how they decide on like how many MMA fights are going to be on a card compared to how many kickboxing and Muay Thai fights. And if I'm correct, they do have 2 different divisions. They have regular kickboxing and then they have Muay Thai, which is different. And then of course they have the MMA. I would love to know how they work that, and I would like them to be more transparent. Like show us some, give us some behind the scenes. One, Like start really putting yourselves out there because I think Americans would love to watch one just as faithfully. Yeah, are totally your time zone's totally different, so it's a bit different. But I think you'd get more viewers over here if you were to market those behind the scenes and really show us what's going on there. Not just on your app, but let's get y'all on the network, man. I would love to see one. Um, oh, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. Dang, they got her title win with Julia Budd as her like highlight. That's her video. Well, that's all it could be because that's the only fight she's had. That's sad. Hmm.
With cancer at just 5 years old. So very emotional in for October awareness of breast cancer, but also for the young man who
I noticed that with one they have just touch back on this. One has upcoming. They have Reign of Dynasties. I'm gonna definitely promote them because I want you guys to start watching. They got Reign of Dynasties 2 coming October 16th, and that card is right now. It's only got a bantamweight kickboxing fight on the card, and they have a featherweight Muay Thai fight on the card. I'll take that back. Okay, now I'm getting more. Okay, they do have some mixed martial arts on this card, but it's two fights. Two kickbox. No, I'm sorry. Three Muay Thai, one kickboxing super fight, and two mixed martial arts fights. Now, like I said, I'm okay with the way one is set up. Like I don't mind the whole mixture, but I'd like to know like how they come up with it, and I'd like them to market those fighters a lot better. Like I know about the MMA side, but I don't really know about their kickboxers. I don't really know about their Muay Thai fighters, and it's because I don't feel like they put them at the forefront as much. I'm starting to notice that yeah, you're putting cards with more of that on it, but I think it's good to market these fighters. I feel like you really have to market fighters for us as Americans to care. And even if that is strictly on just your channel, if you have people watching, they'll start paying attention to those fighters. Um, that being said, they have Inside the Matrix coming October 30th. And that's supposed to be a pretty full card. Now that I'm actually looking forward to because one of my favorite mixed martial artists over there, Ang La Sang, is going to be fighting, and he's the middleweight world champion. And if I'm correct, he's also the light heavyweight champion. He's a dual champion. Um, and then you have another mixed martial arts fight between Christian Lee and a guy that is new to me is Luri Lapicus. Now, I have seen Christian Lee fight. Devastating. He's definitely deserving of that light heavyweight championship. I would love to see him go against some other light heavyweight champions that I know. And this looks to be a full mixed martial arts card. There's no kickboxing on this card at all. Now, what I find interesting is that they have one, two, three. They have 4 titles up that night. I think that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that one. That one I'm going to catch just to see whose titles change. But I would love for them to definitely market their fighters better because I want to get to know them, like Martin and Guion. I think I've seen him fight once, and he ran through the dude he fought. I don't remember the guy's name, but the dude he ended up fighting, he ended up running through horribly. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that card, that October 30th card. Beyond that, they have all the other cards they have no there's no scheduled fight. There's no fight scheduled. They don't actually have the list of fights out yet. So I kind of feel like it's just one minor criticism, one criticism I want to give here, and that's that I feel like one will flourish a lot more if they simply focus on the cards that they have fleshed out and don't even bring cards up that they don't have built. Because when you do that, I think it leaves us, the users, especially the ones on your app, it leaves us to believe that there's actually cards there. So we go looking, and we're for the fighters that we do know, like your especially like a lot of your oh my goodness. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to stop for a second because Chris Cyborg has just backed Blencowe up to the fence. And this is what I was hoping would not happen. I was hoping Blencowe would come out guns a-blazing, but yeah, Cyborg is playing her game. She's working her game plan. She's muscled her against the cage, and she's now laying in the Muay Thai clinch. Well, not the real clinch. I take that back. She's got the underhooks in, or one of the underhooks in, and she's just basically working the body, dirty boxing, throwing elbows, working in close, which is what Cyborg wants to do. She wants to work her in close. She wants to grind her out. Blencowe is a boxer, so she's not gonna wanna hug like this. Cyborg just took her down with a nice leg sweep. And now she has a bit of side control, and she's grinding her against the cage. She's doing exactly what Cyborg does with boxers. She's putting her in uncomfortable positions. Blencowe is kind of stuck right now because I think she's in a situation where she doesn't know. I don't think she really understands what to do in this sitch. She's on her back. Her breathing's being disrupted, and she's really in an uncomfortable position. She's taking elbow shots straight to the face. And Cyborg, she's not okay. The problem that I'm seeing too is that Blencowe's not fighting for position, and now Cyborg's trying to posture up, and she's trying to grind her out. She's trying to pound her down. Okay, now she has her mounted, and now she's raining down fists and elbows. This is where you didn't want to be, because now she's catching it, and she's catching it hard to the face. Oh, don't block with your face like that. Don't do that. Okay, yeah. This is gonna be over soon. If she doesn't start moving, this is gonna be over. She now has Blencowe's back, and she has both hooks in. Because Blencowe decided to roll over and give her back up. So Cyborg took it. And now, like I said, she has both hooks in, and she's trying to pound her out, if not get her into submission position. Yes. Okay, now Blencowe is in a better position. She's on her. Oh, come on, Blen. She needs to slip her off. She's in the perfect position to slip her off forward, but she doesn't know how. And now Cyborg is laying in the shots hard from under the arm. She's mounted her back, and now she's just laying with pounding underhooks. Now, okay, Blencowe is in a better position because she's gotten back to her feet. This is good. But she just caught a knee to the face, and that didn't feel good. I know that didn't feel good. Did that bust her open? I think it busted her nose or her lip. Oh. Oh, we banging now. Oh, Cyborg backed up and threw like 2 or 3 good shots and a kick and a roundhouse. Yeah, round 1 goes to Cyborg. She controlled her. She bullied her, which is exactly what Blencowe did not want from Cyborg. She didn't want to be bullied. And that's where she's going to have to stop. Second round. She cannot let Cyborg bully her. And that's so her coaches are telling her to stay off the cage. If you can, kick yourself off the cage. And they're basically telling Blencowe that she took her worst shots. Is that true? I don't know. I wouldn't say that. But I would say that Blencowe did weather a good storm. And she should have a better idea of that range. And hopefully she should understand now that she cannot let Cyborg grab. She can't let her get her hands on her. She has to keep moving, and she's gonna have to start putting hands on her. She's gonna have to start imposing her will, because that's what I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing Blencowe impose her will at all. Okay, now we both come to the middle of the octagon, and Blencowe hands up, looks like she's ready. Okay, there's a roundhouse. It's a roundhouse from Cyborg, and then they threw some punches. Cyborg then threw a leg kick. Her kicks landed, but her punches didn't. Blencowe's punches didn't land either because they're both at range. Okay, there's another roundhouse. Blencowe blocked that one. That was to the head. And now we're really, I think Cyborg is looking to box, but now it's a fight. Oh, Cyborg is coming. Oh, and she grinded her back, right back to the fence. And now Cyborg is just laying in. Oh shit. She done busted her face open. Oh. Now she got her hands on her. She done took her down again. So Blencowe's face is bloody now because she just let a flurry off on her face against that cage that was ridiculous. She hit her about I'd say at least a good 6 to 7 times, all heavy significant shots. And I do want to say Cyborg's boxing is looking phenomenal tonight. Her jiu-jitsu is there. Blencowe's strong, but she's not stronger than Cyborg, unfortunately. And that's playing a part. Because now Cyborg is just on top of her and she's raining down shots. Now she's got her mounted and she's just raining down shots. Oh my God. And now there's heavy breathing, which tells me that her nose is broken. Her nose is either broken or it's busted up bad and she knows that she has to breathe through her mouth. Oh, and now she gave her back up. And Cyborg already has one arm under the chin. And there's the rear naked choke. And it's all over. It's over. That quick. Because you don't let Cyborg get on top of you. And you don't let Cyborg get in a controlling position. She pounded her face in, and then she jumped on top of her and bullied her out. Yeah. There was no fight there. Yeah, Blencowe just got destroyed. Boom, 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 boom. The kick. She hit her with a roundhouse to the midsection that was ridiculous. And then she just deteriorated. Her block deteriorated. Everything just went down the drain. Yeah. And I think where Blencowe really messed up is that she panicked while she was on the bottom. So she kept turning around and she kept even in the first round, she gave her back. I think the only reason she didn't tap her out in the first round because she didn't have enough time at the end. But this round, it was done. It was done.
Indeed, Josh. Back to school with the professor and a tremendous performance once again.
And now people are really just congratulating.
Chris
Cyborg is a beast. I don't care what nobody say. Even with her loss to Amanda Nunes, she is a fucking beast. And I'm gonna keep it real. I want to see a rematch. I'm hoping we can get some inter promotional fights going with UFC and Bellator. If Dana and Coker could ever get on the same page. And I really think it's more Dana than Coker. I don't think Dana has the respect for their fighters that he should. And I'm saying this because I'm hoping that at some point Dana sees, maybe he sees it, maybe he doesn't. But I think that he's losing out on a lot of money. It's a lot of money in them fights. Douglas Lima versus Kamaru Usman. That's a fight I want to see. Patricio Pitbull versus Khabib. Not a bad fight. Not a bad fight at all. I wouldn't mind seeing who's the real light heavyweight champion. Lightweight champion of the world.
Chris, you were accurate. You were nasty in that fight. You were using a full
Featherweight too. I wouldn't mind seeing Alexander Volkovsky go against Patricio. That would be a real. I think that would be a better fight than him going against Khabib. And of course, the rematch, Cyborg versus Nunes, both of them featherweight champions. I'd love to see it. I'm just saying, I think you got a lot of money there that could benefit both companies. And if I may, I would even say it would be cool to have a situation where it really gets competitive and we say, you know, the promotion with the most wins gets the bigger cut. Only fair. Which I think would make for a monumental meeting between two companies. You got Juan Archuleta just won the bantamweight championship in Bellator, and I do think that he would make a good fight. I think he would make a good fight for Peter Yan, but I'm not gonna lie, Juan, I don't see you beating Peter Yan, dude. I don't see it. That's the only one that I'm like, it's a little one-sided. But still wouldn't mind seeing it. I might be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I might be wrong. Damn! The fight stats. 52 strikes landed by Cyborg. 4 strikes landed by Blencowe. 32 punches landed by Cyborg. 3 punches landed by Blencowe. Ridiculous numbers. Difference. Huge difference, by the way. But yeah, no, getting back to it, I'm just saying, man, I think we benefit from those fights. Even seeing Mousasi back in the UFC against UFC's middleweight champ Israel Adesanya, I wouldn't be mad. I think that's a good fight. Mousasi is no sleeper, and he can beat any. I think right now, at the point in his game he could just about beat anybody if he wanted. So, oh man, Mousasi versus Lima, that's gonna be a good one. That's at the end of this month too, October 29th, y'all. Don't miss Bellator. I'm definitely gonna cover that one. I'm definitely gonna cover it. That being said, this was a short one, folks, because we had some technical difficulties. Like I said, I'm going to keep all water bottles 10 feet away from now on. So we never have a scare like we had earlier, because I literally shit myself when I saw that water go everywhere. And I do mean everywhere, folks. But thankfully enough, it did not touch any of our recording equipment. That is all dry as a bone. The only thing it touched was my laptop, and I was going nuts. But like I said, we got it done. We got through another one, and I thank you guys for kicking it. Brazil, I'm saying, man, you guys, great fighters, great fucking fighters. One of my favorites of all time, Jose Aldo, hands down. But with that being said, folks, it was good kicking it with you. I hope you come and kick it with me this weekend because we got a fight card. If I'm correct, it's UFC Fight Night this weekend. And actually, I think that's another bond burn. So have a good night. You guys take it easy. Holla.